Hey guys, Crypto Rational here with another video. In this video, we're going to compare the four main ways in which you can stake your TIA, and we're going to discuss the good, the bad, and the neutral. So, quick recap: Stride Protocol, Milkyway are both liquid staked protocols. Pryzm is a stake drop, airdrop, and the fourth way is a regular staking, where you stake outside of the 20 validators with no central exchange validator, and that has at least 1% in commissions. Now, if you don't know any of them, don't worry. I will do a quick introduction and a very quick tutorial on how you can get started. But first, let's start with Stride. So, how does Stride work? You go to the website app.stride.zone, you stake your TIA, and you get ST TIA in return. Now, I started this basically on the second day when the API was quite high, above 500%. As of today, with a TVL of over 50 million. When I started it, it was only 3 million. I also have a video on that on my channel. I will link it in the description below. So I started on the 2nd of February. Let's see how much I've earned in those 13 days. So as you can see, I staked about 210 TIA, which currently has a value of 3,800. And for that amount, I got a total of 73, which will be airdropped to me in 6 months linearly. So I will get it not in one batch, but daily. So how much is this worth with the current price of Stride? With the current price of Stride at $5.40, I got a total of $395, which is not bad at all. Looking at the amount that I've invested, you could say it's about an 11% return in about 13 days. Now, will this apply if you start staking today? No. Let's look at that. So, basically, with the current Stride price of $5.50, you get a daily return of 0.43%. You know, is that bad? Is that good? I will say some people in crypto have a higher risk appetite and they will say it's quite low. Some people are more conservative and they want to have a more of guarantees and they will be happy with it. Me personally, I'll probably stay with Stride for maybe close to 30 days. When the 60-day extra bonus airdrops ends, I will probably stop staking 10 to 15 days before that. And yeah, basically the current price at $5.50, it's hard to say. One could say with the current bull run, with positive um, market indicators, the price of all crypto will go up, and even if people are dumping, the price of Stride might be maintaining $5. It might go to 10. A more conservative take would be to say that everyone will probably start dumping it unless Stride comes up with their own way where you can like stake Stride and get other airdrops, but I kind of doubt that. But yeah, so I would say a realistic price would be about $2, which will halve your daily return to 0.25%. But yeah, so it's up to you. If you find that that's a good enough return, you can stake with it. If you don't find it nice return, you know, look at the other options. Okay, let's look at the good. It's a guaranteed airdrop. So basically, with the other protocols, um, the tokenomics and the valuation and etc. are not known. With Stride, you know exactly how much Stride you're getting when you're getting it. It's already been launched, so the only factor that you don't know is the price in 6 months. So let's look at the neutral. a medium return. Sorry for that. It's a medium return. So I won't say it's a low return. I would say it's a high return. If you look at it the yearly basis, it's a super high API of like close to 150, 160%, which is, outside of crypto, that would be very impressive. Some people on crypto, not so much. Well, why is that? Because you get a lower chance of airdrop. Now, Stride has said that they've been in the talks with the movements protocol that if the movement protocol were to drop an airdrop, that Stride liquid stakers would get it. Well, that's only one protocol. Um, unless they come out with a message where they say, we've talked with 10 different projects, they all agreed we're gonna airdrop to Stride liquid stakers, you basically have 0 degree. So basically, you're getting a guaranteed airdrop with a medium return, and in exchange for that, you're sort of paying with a lower chance of an airdrop. So it kind of depends on like how bullish you are and what you think the chances will be that certain projects won't airdrop Stride liquid stakers. Now, this percentage could be somewhere between 0% to 100%. It's hard to say. In my opinion, I think 60 to 70% of projects will probably want to work with one of the biggest liquid staking protocols. Um, it's a good way for them to get some extra exposure. Stride does have a pretty good reputation in the Celestia space. Um, and if we look at Milktia, for example, that work together with Oddlayer, where Milktia liquid stakers also got that airdrop. I think there's a good chance for the bigger airdrops to incorporate Stride, but it's basically no guarantee, and you're paying for that guarantee, or you want to be compensated for that lower guarantee with a medium return, which is guaranteed. So I would say that those are the pros and the cons for Stride, and it's for every person, individual to sort of make those assessments. I would say allocate a certain part of your portfolio with them. It's always good to have exposure in different parts. Basically, you're getting a guaranteed return. The price of Stride might go up a lot more, and then that return will be worth a lot more. So my advice would be like sort of, like do it 30%, 30%, 30%, or you go 50-50, but like have some exposure in Stride. I think it will be worth it. All right, let's move to Milktia. So, I've staked about 36 TIA with them. I think on the second day that they launched, or very close to it, which was beginning of January, which was about 6 weeks ago. I didn't stake 36 TIA for the full 6 week. The first, say, 5.5 weeks, it was 21 TIA, and the other weeks it was 14 TIA extra, which was right before they announced the point system. And as you can see, with I would say an average of like $400 if you take into account the lower amount at the start and the higher amount at the end, I have a pretty decent rank. Um, 7,000 with about 1,800 points. So this is basically for me just holding the Milktia, and these are for the DeFi activities which I do on Demex, which you can see here the total. Supplied 36 Milktia with them. The rewards here are not that much. I haven't borrowed anything because I just don't like the whole borrow lend system. It's too much work to keep up, and it sort of, I think, devaluates the potential airdrop, in my opinion, because um, we basically have no guarantee how much return you will get on your investment. So if you have to pay like 2-3%, and the airdrop might be worth 5 to 10% of what you've supplied, it sort of dilutes it very heavily. All right, so let's look into the good points, the bad points, and the neutral points. So the two good points are, in my opinion, that I would say the airdrop is 99% confirmed. They have points program, and they've been heavily suggesting that there will be an airdrop. Of course, they've never like confirmed it 100%, but it's basically guaranteed. By also supplying your milk tea on Demex, you're also farming that airdrop. So might be a good way to farm both at the same time. Not really sure about the timeline of Demex. They've been around for quite a while, so that's that airdrop might take a bit longer, I think, than for Milkia. Milkia will probably launch, I would say, somewhere in quarter two. Okay, let's look at the neutral. Yeah, they basically announced that 10% of their total supply will be reserved for the airdrop. Now, is that a low amount? No. Is it a high amount? No. I would say it's somewhere right in the middle, maybe a bit below. Um, no, it's really hard to say anything about it because we don't know anything about the circulating supply. We don't know much about the tokenomics, so what kind of valuation they're striving for. Um, how much the TVL will be growing, how long it will take, what the market conditions will be. But going off what we know, the 10% supply, I would say it will be like a low to medium tier airdrop. So that's why I put it in neutral. Now, let's look at bad. Again, same with Stride. Lower chance for airdrop. Same exact reasons. The only pro I would say on Milktia is that they did provide their stakers with the alt layer airdrop. Downside will be that Stride is a lot more known in the Cosmos space than Milktia. Stride's been around longer. They have liquid staking for Atom, for other tokens. It will also have liquid staking for Dimension, so they're more well known. So I would say the chances for Stride to have been incorporated with future airdrops are slightly higher than Milktia, but we don't know how Milktia develops. But as of now, I would say the chances with Stride are higher. So if you want to know how to stake your TIA with Milktia, you go to app.milkway.zone, put a link in the description, basically put in the amount of TIA you'll stake, you click on stake, that's it. Let's just take a look at the how it works section, because there are some interesting upcoming activities. So sealing campaign is something I would definitely do. If you had already staked Milktia, you will get some sort of multiplier, which will be very nice if you're an influencer or if a lot of friends that want to stake with Milkyway. There's a referral initiative. The opportunity cost for Milktia Tours, I think this was for when Stride came up and people choose to stay with Milkyway, or maybe they're referring to future opportunity costs, but will be hard to say. The booster campaigns, not sure what that will be, but definitely keep up to date with their Telegram and their Twitter, because getting these multipliers would definitely be worth your time. So what will my strategy be? I'll probably sell a bit of my Stride to go in a bit more with Milkia. Maybe do a 50-50, or maybe do a 60 Milkia 40 Stride. Basically, because for me the day return, is, I would say, it's attractive, but not attractive enough to bait the Milkia airdrop. So let's talk about Pryzm. Pryzm is quite straightforward. You simply, in the native Kepler or Leap dashboard, you can stake with a validator. You stake your TIA with the Pryzm validator, so which is quite easy. With Kepler, you just search for Pryzm, click on it. You have an option to stake. You click on stake, you choose the amount you want to stake, and that's it. Now, what exact? So as you can see, I've staked about 25 Thea with them, which is based on their stake drop. Now, it's not only for Thea. If you have, I have also some Atom and some Osmosis with them, but that's just not that much. But yeah, in my opinion, I don't think the amount of Prism tokens that you will get will be worth, like, I won't like FUD it, but don't put your expectations too high for this. So it's very simple actually. They've been pretty transparent about it. So if you look at this example that's from their own stake drop details, they say that if you hold, let's say, $1,000 worth of Atom with a yield of 15% and the Prism validator price at 7.5 commission rate, the actual commission rate for TS 5%, then in this setup, Alice anticipates an annual payment of $11 in validator commissions, resulting in an annual yield of 112.5 Prism tokens or 2.1 Prism tokens per week. Now, is that a lot? Well, so you've basically been staking your, let's say, $1,000. If you take into account the lower yield and the lower commission rate, we can sort of put this value at maybe like 1.5 tokens per. No, let's just round it to 2 tokens per week. And let's say they launch the airdrop um 3 months from now, 12 weeks. You're basically getting 24 tokens. You know, out of a 200 million allocation, with a total supply of 1 billion. Now, we don't know any tokenomics, we don't know the valuation, we don't know circulating supply will be the TVL, blah, blah. No, not the TVL won't be that relevant. Well, it will be relevant, but not, you know, uh, for the current valuation because we don't know exactly when they'll be launching. They have a testnet that's, according to their latest announcement will be going into the mainnet. So we can sort of expect it somewhere, maybe March, maybe April, to drop. But yeah, so if we're looking at Prism, um, what I've put at good is, well, I think you have a higher chance of an airdrop simply because it's a staking protocol. Um, well, it's a validator, but with the stake drop, so I think it has a higher chance of an airdrop, but lower than regular staking because I think a few protocols might be against the ID of of a stake drop, and they just want to reward people that just stake for the regular API and not for another airdrop. But that's just speculation. But I think the chance is definitely lower with Prism, but it's higher than with Stride and Milktia. But the neutral part of this, it's a stake drop, so again, sort of ties in with the first thing I've said. The bad news is, well, low return. So my expectations for this, just simply looking at the tokenomics, how much you earn per dollar, like don't expect much from this. I would say, I'm not gonna throw any numbers around, but it might, definitely won't be a dimension, but I also don't think it will be as high as alt layer, for example. I think you have to, put your expectations below that. We can also always be surprised. If the project really blows up or it gets some like serious exposure or something like that, and you've been staying for quite a while, it could definitely be worth your while. But I think I would say with a certainty of like 90% is that if you stake $1,000 worth you might be looking at, yeah, I would say a return of 5 to 10%, which is not that bad. And that's even being sort of like bullish about it. And like, it's hard to say, but I definitely don't think it will be worth as much as with Stride or even with Milktia. But I think you're paying for that by getting a higher chance of an airdrop. So basically, the chances of you getting airdrop goes up. You sort of expect or or accept that you'll get a lower return, and that sort of makes it competitive with the others. So again, it's up to your own risk appetite. Let's look at regular staking. What do I mean with regular staking? Regular staking is quite simple. You simply stake it outside of the top 20 validators, not with the central exchange, and not with a 0% commission validator. Those are basically the standard guidelines. I think, in my opinion, will get you, I would say, 99% of all the airdrops. So let's quickly go through it. What are the good points? Well, it's the highest chance of an airdrop, as we discussed. It's also the safest, I think. It's right in Milk the other two protocols. Uh, the chances of any foul play will be higher on their end, although you have, a chance that with validators that you can get slashed or they will get slashed, but that will just affect your return and not the initial amount that you've supplied. So with Stride and Milkia, again, with everything that I've just said before, it's like do your own research, not financial advice. So I'm not affiliated with them. They're not paying me anything. Just my honest opinion about it. Um, always be safe. Don't put too much money in it. Always assume the worst can happen. I'm not implying it will be, but always assume. So with regular staking, what's the bad option? No extra rewards. Is that a bad thing? If you look at Stride, potentially, missing, if you look at the 0.43 with the amount of days that are left, you're sort of missing like 20 to 30% return in 2 months, which is very, very attractive. With Milkia, you're potentially missing out on a medium to, well, I wouldn't say high, but it might become, quite valuable airdrop. And even compared with Pryzm, you're still missing out for an extra airdrop. But again, also with this, you're sort of paying for that by getting the highest chance of an airdrop. So, like, no financial advice, but super simple strategy would be just go to 25, 25, 25, 25. Or if you don't really care about any guarantees, you think the return on stride is way too low and you're way bullish on Milky and Pryzm, one third, one third, one third, or just go 50-50. But I would definitely suggest like sort of spreading it around here. So if I've basically, put it in Stride, Milky Pryzm, with regular staking, the problem is that I have to take it out either for 21 days or I have to sell the Milky Stride, take some loss of that, like, well, with Stride it's very minimal, but with Milkia, because of the some people have been selling it to stake with Stride. If you sell it on Osmosis, you sort of miss out on 2%. And I've staked, quite quite so much. Well, not that much, but it's in my opinion not worth it to regular stake it, because I think with the way that I've implemented it, I will probably at worst miss out on like what, one airdrop or something. So yeah, that's basically my thoughts on this. I'm very sorry about the the quality of this video. Yeah, basically I have a limited amount of time to do these YouTube videos, so there won't be any fancy editing. There won't be like like fancy noise effects. It's my channel is just about giving you pure information, a nice Excel sheet, the numbers, the good, the bad, the ugly. you know And if you like the way I convey my information to you, please subscribe, please comment, please like, some kind of interaction. It really motivates me to see like anything. So yeah, guys, thank you for listening. The video has been way too long, but if you have been listening to this part, know that I really appreciate you. And no, thank you, and see you on the next video.